I thought he was,
Who made the motion
Dave,
to go into executive session?
Ed,
Ed,
I don't remember the second, I did,
and do you know what time?
It was recorded. At about 9:12 or something.
oh, it's not, right?
Someone should make a motion also, or put it in a motion to pull contractors done to receive the check that's done in Bradstreet. So that'll be in the minutes that the check and done in Bradstreet as well.
Are we doing that for the, not for the demo, right?
Correct. Okay,
All right, so we have a sealed bid for 63 Seneca Street for a demolition. We have 5 bids.
Did you put these bids in the agenda somewhere else?
They're on, under,
It's done number one,
Right
call
after.
to order, welcome gather, so sealed order bids.
so there's no lines for the motions, but you can just do it next to it. Kate, was there 5 bids? Yeah.
I have several.
7 bids. The low bid was Allstate Excavating from Andover at $9,500 and 3 to 5 days completion. That is the low bid. They have a motion to accept the bid of $9,500 from Allstate Excavation. Ron with a Y. Second,
Ed,
all in favor? Aye. Now, the more complicated one, 4 to 6 Main Street Friendship. We received 3 sealed bids. 2 of the bids were incomplete. There was no itemization as requested in the bid RFP. So we ended up with 1 bid by Westside Construction from Churchville, New York of $296,700 with 40 days to complete. I would entertain a motion to accept the Westside bid pending a Dun & Bradstreet report and a interview the negotiation with the contractor. That
So
sound good?
moved.
So moved.
Ed,
And second. Second, Dave. Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carried. We good? Moving on. We have the minutes from the December 15th meeting. There's no additions, corrections, deletions. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Bob will make the motion.
Bob, second. Ryan. All in favor? Motion carried. We have a treasurer's report. Starts on the back of the last page of the minutes. We'll start with the first one is the 0024.
So that's our unrestricted money that we've been kind of calling demo money, just because it's unrestricted, has less restricted anyways, or unrestricted.
You want to put
Somebody
it
really
up?
wants to get hold of it. Okay, I gotta. You can. This funds we have, we've been using it mostly for demo. We shifted some stuff around. But we're gonna be able to use this for part of that, well, part of the 4 to 6 main. And we have a little bit, we demoed some else out of here, we moved money out of here, we just found out that we can use our money as demo. So we've moved some around, so.
What's the new money?
The money, the current grant, the current capital funds from, this is our, non-capital, we call it our demo fund. This is 2 grants ago that we're still spending out. That'd be the 2.2 grant is the capital funds. Well, this 110 that we have left to spend will go, that's pretty much all. Gonna go to 4 to 6, all right, Kate? So, well, we don't know, we gotta.
Depends on me.
Yeah,
We gotta spend 9,500 of it.
This one, no, this one we've been sitting on, this one we wanna,
Where's the 9,500 for the
That's
demo?
gonna come from capital.
from capital,
Okay.
which is the 2.2. So
Okay.
this one, we talked to HCR and they want us to be using the other grant for stuff that's gonna be finished, rehabs like Grover and Second Street. Instead of stuff that's going to spend a bunch of money and still not be finished, like the friendship projects. So we move some money over to this, which could be used for more of the pre-development stabilization type of money. And then we're gonna go ahead with them, so we just kind of been shifting it around based on what HCR wants, as far as spending it on bricks and mortar type stuff, or spending it on studies, stabilization, the more softer cost type of things,
Do
so.
you wanna talk about your discussion with HCR and the current grant ask?
The 2 million,
Yeah.
the 2 million that we waited on, they didn't say that we are awarded it, but they did say we need to spend out. So if you wanna flip over to 2.2, we need to get this down to, what was our target? Number to get down to, we gotta spend like pretty much all of it. So out of this grant, the 2.2, we know we have 312 budgeted for Second Street. And then we have another, you saw that budget page of a few minutes ago,
312,000.
312,000 is going, is a hard lock for Second Street, we're already under contract,
Andover.
and over Second Street. That's a hard lock in there, then the other money we had budgeted was 260, I think, for Grover that we can play with, we can move that around. We don't have bids out yet for that, I think the bids will probably, if we do mess with that money. We'll split, instead of just doing the full end rehab on that all out, we'll do mechanicals. We'll do mechanicals first, and then we don't need as much money, get the mechanicals, get the electric on and the plumbing and all that, and then go back in there and do the rehab. Cause you're gonna want electric and heat when you do drywall painting anyway, so it's already has sort of operations, you see the front end of it. And then all the back end, we have money we put into.
They don't have a problem in using some of this money for 4 to 6 because it's.
If it's capital project money, right, so we can't do it for like pay, they don't want us paying Clinton Brown with it, they want us to pay contractors.
The contractor, the bid were just approved,
Yeah,
they should use.
Yeah,
it
so
for
we'll
that.
double check, but I'm, okay, you agree with me, I took that the right way, it's capital, it's bricks and mortar type work, and that's bricks and mortar. literally.
Okay, cause you were saying that they didn't really see it used towards future. But that's not really, I mean, the end goal is future, but it's current.
Right, but they just didn't want to see it as soft costs. And we were tying in a lot of soft costs that were. Which is fine if you're gonna do, like, if you're doing a rehab and you're gonna finish that rehab or build a new house would be a better example. Then the consulting and all that counts as a hard cost, even though it's a soft cost, it can count as capital. Cause it's part of the actual work, but when you're phasing it the way we are. It draws a gray area that they just would like us to alleviate. They weren't upset, they're not auditing us, they didn't say we had to go back and change what we did spend or anything like that, so that's how you know we didn't really screw up, like.
So this is the money they wanna see down in the
Yes.
242, not the other stuff.
Yes, so you can, and we're getting there close, cause we have a kickoff meeting with the contractor for Second Street today, so that'll roll this down to 312. That 312 is heating works, but that, it's gonna be a couple months job, like, there's a lot of big things to do in their house. So, I anticipate being able to tap into that in the summer. So this is, we got the rest of spring to deal with. This money, I'd like to clear up the one we looked at before, the 110,000, and then get these spent down with the projects we have going right now. I think we're good to spend those out. And then we don't have to be all spent out, but we get low enough and get it committed. So we get it committed. So we can consider that 312 committed. So once we get another, if say we move over this allocation to 4 to 6 Main Street and they accept that, and then it brings that down, then we get a contract for 31 Grover, we sign that contract, that's committed. It should be committed, spent, and then once we start asking for it, that changes the whole game, and then, so summer is the realistic time for that.
And,
to be able to tap into that 2 million if we get it.
and how do we know, they're not saying we will get it, and how much money is there? I mean, is there any chance that the money could not be there when we finally are ready for it?
I guess there's that chance, but there'll be another round right on its heels.
Okay.
But we already got this in before the deadline, so they will probably service the land banks who are sitting in the wings. There's a few of us that are all in the same pot where we're just trying to spend out, but we did get our application in time. So we'll probably service those before they open up the next one. They haven't made that clear.
Okay,
We spent it.
and then what else, what other, we got, the general fund? And,
Well, 039 is our operations, so,
Okay.
That's pretty self-explanatory. This is the one that, this is only for operations, the one that we get sent to us. We can actually preload this. We're sitting on 41,000 advanced funds. And I believe Kate will be asking for the next round. Are we in the what quarter are we in? So yeah, do we have quarter one yet? Yeah,
This
so
includes quarter
yeah. And then the general fund is the last one. This is our unrestricted money. We have some money coming back from HCR that we spent and they're reimbursing us. That's the discrepancy in there. So the general fund with the money that they reimbursed will be 173.89.
right, is there any disbursement request that I need to sign?
Yeah, but I was having issues with my computer, so. I'm like.
Yeah,
so, I know.
Okay, that's fine. all right, so that's the treasurer's report, can I have a motion to approve? Ed? Second?
I will second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Was there no correspondence?
Yeah, there was. We skipped correspondence. I put
Oh,
a
sorry.
It's all right, I must have been out of order. There's a Gmail attached in the packet. Do you remember last meeting, I reached out to, you guys approved me to reach out to environmental experts to try to come up with a cleanup plan for Depot Street. You gave me a budget of 1,500, only one contractor reached back to me and he gave me an hourly rate, hourly rate. But after looking at it, he said he needed it to be 2,000, so if you read it describes it here in this email. Instead of just coming up with something, he decided the best way to go about this, because it's all the rubble is fallen in. And if we just tear it down, then we have to include the block, but he will write on our behalf to the DC a variance that will ask them to eliminate the block walls from the scenario. And then we can go and get the debris and treat the walls as non-friable or even clean fill and get rid of those somewhere else, dump them over the bank or. Start filling that in. So he's, and then put a timeline here, so if he'll apply this week to the DOL, for a variance. If they approve it in a month, then we can get RFPs out for the cleanup, and then what it'll do is allow asbestos abatement demolition contractors or whatever to look at their options. They can either tear it down all together, or they give us a price, what it would take just to take the stuff out and do the wall separately. Gives us a better plan, but you guys approved 1,500. He couldn't do it in that, so the price went up to 2,000 instead, which is, I think there was an extra 3 hours. It is hourly, 160 an hour rate or whatever. So, because that application wasn't anticipated when I first started talking to him, so we're gonna need a vote to increase that to accept his invoice, which is in here. So,
What is his company name?
Neeson Clark Associates. The invoices in the invoices later in the,
Alright.
I just wanted to explain it ahead of time, so in case it came up in discussion later.
Okay, so we'll
We have
call that
to-
later.
But we will have to do it. An approval separate. To raise it.
Yeah, we'll do it when we go.
Or you can do it now and then approve the invoice, or.
Let's do it.
And invoice the county is it.
Can you explain why it's DOL and not DEC?
The DOL is the authority that oversees all asbestos type stuff.
Department of Labor.
Yeah, I said it the same way.
Yeah, if you see, you go by an asbestos thing and you see someone doing something wrong, you don't call DOL, DOL comes out of Buffalo. They oversee asbestos.
It's a worker protection.
Yeah, okay. Because the laws are there to protect laborers, too, I guess. Yep, they oversee all that.
Alright, moving on to funding.
So we talked about the land bank initiative, where we're at with that, so we will.
Will you please say it again?
Okay, we are trying to spend down our current awards before we can find out when we'll be able to tap into the next round, which we submitted the application for in November.
Crossmount,
Crossfire, we didn't hear back. We expected to hear back last week, and we did not. So we had a meeting with HCR. They said we had a strong application, a thorough application. They had some questions for us about who's gonna build the road for the subdevelopment, and some questions about portability. I think they had just common questions you expect them to have. We told them that we'd be looking for money to build this road, and that we would be willing to start the other projects in Whitesville in Wellsville. Well, that road gets built, so there's no gap in the time to try to do that.
You were a little fuzzy on that though.
Yeah.
They didn't love that.
Yeah.
They want all the houses coming in at the same time.
But they can only build one a week, so that'd give us if we did one, then they'd give us 3 weeks, at least head start, but yeah, they do wanna start bringing them in. At one a week. But which ends up being, say they did 1 week and we did it now, it's 13 weeks, 13 houses, 13 weeks. Anyway, they wanted us to give them confidence that we could get this thing done in a year. From award, so if they awarded us next month, could we get the road built and these houses put in a year, and I think we can.
Their other thing was, they were kind of wrapped up over the deforestation effort. They thought it would take longer than it should. Here, I think you could get something in and knock those out pretty quick.
Yeah, we have to clear the lot spaces, and we're gonna leave some trees at the road frontage for wind blockage and view blockage, for privacy.
Yeah, the guy surveying the properties and laying out the base each property is gonna take longer than the forester. That's
for sure,
yeah.
It just seems like if Houghton University and Town of Canada are truly interested at some point getting this done, they should do the deforestation and, start clearing the road.
yeah, that's what.
Just, if they would start doing the work, then those types of questions wouldn't come up in the future.
And we have a meeting coming up with them hopefully soon that I can say exactly that. Can you guys start doing something? They're still trying to mull over, are they gonna give us this property or they want us to buy it from them? Well, we appraised at 33,000, so say they want an appraisal value of 33,000.
Are we required to own property?
Yes. I guess not required, but that's
the question.
That's because.
Because they could be the owner, the university,
They
they
said
could be the owner
they don't want, they don't.
until they
could
sell the
talk
house,
into it, but they didn't seem like they had that. Yeah,
sell the lots.
I don't know if they fall under different code if it's educational. They still own it, has to stay at that overlay stays, doesn't it?
No, that overlay is only because they do dorms and labs and
Yeah,
junk like that, otherwise that
Still hard.
zone is residential zone.
yeah, so there's. The way the product works is that it's not a
Speak up a
grant,
little bit.
it's not a grant, it's a loan product, so they're gonna loan us the money to build these things. And build the roads, so say it's 250,000 per unit, and they loan us 275,000 per unit, that's 25 to go to site work, the other 250 goes to the building. And whatever it costs to build the is probably not site work, but we get 6% of the development costs. So 10 houses, that's 2.5 million at 10 houses, just for easy math, we get 6% of that to go to unrestricted funds for us, so, but then when we sell the houses, they get all the money. They get they get all the money because it's a loan product, it's not a grant product, so that's how that works. So if they award us, they could start loaning us the money to build the road right away. I don't know if that's the way to work, but that's the way I see it working in my head, that they say, okay, you guys got the award, here's your first loan of $1 million, build the road and get the sites ready. And then we get the sites ready and then they start.
Well, I think. If we could get Houghton to start the clearing process when you have that meeting, it might. Push down that would help.
Our process.
Yeah.
And what I was saying about the buying the property, if they say they don't have money to hire a logger, then we say, okay, then we will buy the property. Then you log it with the money that we're buying the property, you're buying it, if they're gonna give it to us, because then either way, they're even money. But if they wanna gain some money on it,
Would,
they're
would
not.
have any value,
What's that?
are the trees of any
No,
value?
not really. Firewood value.
Much in there.
That's not one.
No, there's no real board value of it, unless you are.
All right, well, we don't have an answer on that, but push it,
PDD.
the university. Small rental development initiative.
So there's a new grant that just opened up next week called the Small Rental Development Initiative. We're gonna, I wanna target this towards 4 to 6 to our friendship project. It can only be used on residential units. So if we used it at 4 and 6, it'd be only for second and third floors. I was thinking of targeting this money, and jump in, Clinton, if you think I'm talking out of turn and we can't use it for this. I don't know if you had a chance to look at the RFP, but I wanna use this as money dedicated for the sprinkler system and the elevator. Cause that's definitely a need for the residential units, and it's something that falls out of our normal day-to-day work. We're not putting in sprinkler systems and elevators in all our houses. So this would kind of justify that we do have money to work, but this is an uncommon expense for us in our development project. So go after just the sprinkler systems and upgrades that need for that and for the elevator.
Thoughts, Clinton? Did you hear all that?
Yes, I think it's a good approach.
How much is it likely to be for sprinklers and elevator for that operation?
Kerr, I can be fast or accurate.
I just-
Good
You
comeback.
can apply for 2.5 million. How much are we really likely to have to apply for? 300,000, 100,000?
Well, the max is 2 million.
Off the top of my head, a 3-stop hydraulic elevator we just looked at for another project, we would budget at 250 to 300,000. The sprinklers shouldn't cost, the sprinkler would be part of, I'm thinking the $30,000-$40,000 range, again, being off the top of my head. It's not that big a building.
So like 350.
And so say the whole system, the whole sprinkler system, so, well, there'll have to be some kind, to be able to take off the commercial aspects. What do you, if we have 3 floors divided by 3, how do we make sure that we're not paying for the commercial space, which is not allowable for this grant? Have you done that in previous grants where you can cover part of a
I
building?
think you put all the piping in and except for the
Sprinkler.
Well, is a sprinkler system?
There's some unknowns. This is a new program, and I would say we don't know what capacity is going to be available at the street and whether a pump is going to be needed or what kind of pump. So it's really very early on to say with certainty.
So now 400,000.
Yeah,
No, if you're gonna have 85, 90 PSI at the street, there shouldn't be any problem with the sprinkler.
we won't need a pump to get it
No.
up there, and they're
No.
upgrading the water system at the same time, so we can coordinate this
Yeah.
with the town.
And it's a wide open building for putting. in
Well,
sprinkler systems.
because of its complexity in nature, and Clinton's already working, I was hoping to throw grant money in here to have Clinton consult throughout this process too, so we'd have to put a little money in there for consulting.
400,000?
400,000.
Now we're starting to add up.
Again, it's a 2.5 million, I think the minimum was 300, I think it's a 300 to $2.5 million ask. And I believe it's 10 million statewide, so going after the 2.5 is not our best route. going for what we need and not trying to puff it up is gonna be noticed by the grant.
I make a motion, to apply for ACR Small Rental Development Initiative.
400 or 450.
Up to 500,000.
There you go. That's what. I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Get some more money, Jason. Come on. Page 2, moving right along.
We should ask one question, is there a match on that?
I didn't see one, but I haven't scoured it.
Okay, you got, in your agenda, the infrastructure, you have in your packet, a director's report, which would be the same.
So the board of directors report, Taylor Street, no updates at this time. 319 Main Street, Bolivar, two-bed trust, no updates at this time. Main Street, Cuba Church, no updates at this time. 26 Main Street, Holman, that is on hold. 15 Second Street in Andover, we received, the invoice. We're requesting the money for that invoice is 25% just of the total contract to start. It says waiting on environmental review approval from HCR. We received that on Friday, so you can check that off. We are approved to start. We meet today with Finley Cooperwood, who is the contractor. We meet with John and I meet with him here after lunch, go over his contract, look at his schedule values and see when look at his review his subcontractors and see if we can make a plan on getting this started immediately. So this project.
When do they need their 25%? Say check cut?
The check's cut, the check is not cut, but the check is, the invoice has been submitted, we're waiting to get the money from HCR, so we're submitting our money to HCR, we're not gonna cover the front end of this.
We're not going to,
We're gonna wait for the money,
okay,
so he can either start on his own dime and get reimbursed, or he can wait for 25%.
and that's
But
been,
we're not ready, he's not gonna be banging hammers today anyways, we got a contract start to go off, he has a large lift in coming up with the schedule of values and
There's obligations.
We haven't even met his subs yet. We haven't even met it. We're gonna John and I are gonna interview a subcontractor. We're trying to think of everything on this.
do we submitted the reimbursement?
It's going on today.
That's one I gotta say, okay,
Because it's under contract and got ER approval already, it should go quick. It's going in by itself. So, right, hey, is that being submitted on his own or other stuff?
There was one small.
Other stuff too.
800.
31 Grover. Clinton Brown Company Architects and architect David Scholl are at the 90% completion of the construction drawings. John's gonna be reviewing those drawings this week, and then we're gonna start working on an RFP to get that out for and someone, John, actually, John or Clinton, can you describe to the group what's going on with the person from ID Booth who's gonna be helping with the mechanicals layout? The emails have been going back and forth this last couple of days, easier to come from you guys, so maybe just try to explain.
Yes, we had provided in the original contract for an allowance to engage engineering services that we didn't know at the time whether or not we would need, just in case. And we were able to rough out the HVAC system, but there needs to be more paperwork done and more definition to get good bids. So Kate arranged for us to be working with two local firms, which actually they're working on it right this minute. I'm getting copied on emails to finalize that HVAC system at a much reduced cost from engaging an engineer to do it, because it's a residential system that doesn't need heavy engineering. There does need to be a quantification of the fit of the system to the energy requirements of the house that's defined in a manual J, and they will be producing that also. It will come out of what you have already allocated for our work. It's currently estimated to be between $200 and $500. which is of a great value to everybody. With that, and with the final sign off from staff, we'll be able to put that project out to bid.
And do you have a plan for David to come back down sometime soon? To meet up with the third party?
It is not if it's necessary, there's budget for that, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was necessary or something that we needed to coordinate, but we can talk offline about that.
So
Thank
we
you for that.
can,
It mi-
without our, we won't work on that.
Well, I think we could put it out, but
So before the next meeting, it would probably be out and then,
Yeah.
so we wouldn't get it back in time.
Yeah, if we could,
It's a specialized service for sure.
yeah, I'm saying we need to have like 26 days or something out of it, so
Yeah,
we can get it out.
It's a specialized service.
Yeah, I don't think we'd probably have to get approved at the March meeting.
Right, but we can get the RFP.
Yeah, we get there, yeah, as soon as possible.
Not for the,
If I understood, there's no need to spend any extra money because we provided for this in the contract Clinton Brown Company has with the land bank. So
Oh,
it's a
that-
reimbursable. It's as if we hired a subconsultant. It is already in the allocation, so it's not a separate service. It's one that we planned for. We just didn't know at the time we contracted who was going to do it.
yeah, we're talking about the bid for the work itself.
Yeah, putting out that bid to the public for all the work, we're gonna try to aim for like a week or so, does that seem reasonable?
Yes,
Start from that, okay, cool, great. Yeah, and getting quotes on that really will help our budgeting going forward too, because then we know what we can pick and choose out of that one too. All right, thanks, Clinton. 172 and 178, no updates on that. I'm gonna follow up with the mayor, see if this Village of Wellsville is interested in those project. 2 West Main Street, that is, the purchase offer was made. I haven't seen the signed agreement from the current owner yet, that we're still, if we can jump down to 4 to 6 Main, because it's under the same hold up. We're having trouble closing on these things because the lack of corporate docs for the Fred group that owns the building. The previous secretary skipped town and took all of the documents with him, so they're trying to get the original articles of organization from that group to show that the current administrator of that program is statutorily allowed to sell these properties without a board approval. They don't have a board. And all those documents are in Dave Pullen's office, so our attorney's trying to get with Dave Pullen's attorney and figure out where those are and for those. So it's just the way.
So
Did they,
delays in Richardson staff or Richardson Paul's
Yeah,
office.
that's where it seems to be at right now, yeah. So Shannon Ferkel and Peter Degnan's offices are reaching out, trying to find those. I'll get a follow-up later this week, but.
did they accept our purchase offer on 2?
No, on 2, no, they haven't signed that yet, and then. She doesn't email, so I dropped off a hard copy in her mailbox last week to make sure that she was getting it, so I don't know. She has PO box, I just to make sure I know that she has a copy of it, so.
Well, do we want to discuss the economic development having a tenant for that?
I haven't really heard, I wish she was here, but no, I didn't, she has someone who wants to turnkey it, and you wanna talk about the landlord part? Okay, yeah, so I reached out to a bunch of land banks, and if we charge rent, that money becomes unrestricted right off the bat. So we can either decide if we want to put that in a separate account and let that feed back the insurance for the building, so we're gonna have to get insurance for that building if as a tenant. Some land banks are doing what's called a forced place policy, where they're protecting their investment by insuring the place. Putting a forced place policy, I don't know how to better describe that, but so we'll have to deal with insurance on that, but the rent that comes in is unrestricted. So we can use it for whatever, but I think it'd be smart to, if we do have a tenant in there while we worked with it, that we put that into a separate account, and that money goes to pay for the snow removal, lawn mowing if needed, insurance, maintenance, stuff like that.
So what is our long-term goal for that building? I mean, how much
Sell it as like a carrot to buy the next building over.
is the work that's gonna need to be done, going to be able to be done with a tenant in there?
Yeah, we're mainly focusing on streetscape stuff. And then, because it's commercial space,
Do we know, like,
the roof and that parapet is gonna need some attention for sure. So exterior stuff, we're gonna mostly focus on exterior to make it sellable and entice someone to buy all three of our properties in a row. That one coming with it with a turnkey.
I tell you what would make a lot of sense there too, for that two TC's diner. We're gonna be doing so much work, so we're doing demolition on our building. It might be wise to have that one next to it, just in case a board comes off and goes through for, then we don't have to deal with somebody else owning it, going through an insurance policy.
Or our foundation ended up in the basement of that.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea just to say, we put a board through our own roof, let's fix it, rather than deal with
all
policy.
right, I just concerned about the landlord piece as well.
Yeah, no, I think that, the common thing was, it's good money. It's good money, it's just a pain in the butt, logistically with the insurance, and it depends on the tenant. But this is different than having a family, having a restaurant as a partner.
Just curiosity, did the other land banks say that they set up a separate account per
One,
se?
two do, and one Syracuse said, no, they just put it right in their general fund.
I was just not really sure what the benefit of that was.
To put it separately,
Yeah, I mean, we have tracking for all
Yeah.
the grants. I mean, it's just another cost center. But. I don't know. And
No,
another
the
check,
proper bookkeeping.
another account at Gar's file was.
Yeah, that doesn't.
yeah, we can cross that bridge when we get to it, but I think that the long and short is, there will be an insurance cost that'll go up for holding it. It'll be higher than other holding costs that we have because of that nature, so the rent would offset that if we did collect rent.
So you're saying we don't have a clear paper trail for the 4 to 6 either?
It's the same owner, right, right, they're still looking for the corporate docs, we closed.
That seems like a priority.
Yeah, I mean, we're awarding hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we have
a paper trail to use, though.
We have a notarized site control affidavit allowing us to do this work on our behalf until and then that.
On whose behalf?
On the owner's behalf and under the contract, which notes out that we will be the future owner. But we're in the site control during the sale. So we have a site control affidavit.
I think that needs to get squared away. Quick. Cause this is
Yeah,
new news.
July was this one. I thought it was,
July was what?
was the signing. So you signed that in
Oh,
July?
the affidavit.
No.
Oh,
That was right after June.
Okay.
That's,
I don't think we do anything for it to that until we own it.
That's where I was going.
Well,
Especially if you don't know who currently, we don't know who currently owns it and can be a flying ointment.
we have a signed purchase agreement, it's just,
By one person that you can't prove owns or has the authority to
Right.
sign on that behalf.
right, but if, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to push this through, I can't push any harder, but, we're right now, we aren't spending any money on it, we got these approved with, but I get what you're saying. Well, we're authorized to spend money, we just spent $150,000 on 2 properties that we didn't own in Andover, the historic preservation on, but.
But there is a paper trail for ownership there. This one's got a little sticky, paper trail issue.
Yeah.
So. You said the secretary left town with the paperwork, but then you said it's in Richardson.
The original, so she left with like all their minutes and all their stuff that she has nothing, that except for what the Poland's has. And once they look at that, they'll see that they might have to draw something up saying that it's dissolved, what powers they have, it's just a bad situation because.
and
Dave's
out of.
Yeah, he has some health issues, so his office is struggling there.
What about the son?
That's what we're at, I mean, they're not, our lawyers and the lawyer for the.
Our lawyer's
Dollar.
out of commission.
Yeah, but the paralegal is, and the paralegal is out, had, Jamie Bissell, they're called on next for attorney, so. We have 2 law firms, 3 law firms going at this right now. So it should be remedied.
Well,
I keep on it, I mean.
yeah,
I'm with that, I think we should kind of.
Well, adjust a little bit until we can own it.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
we can continue discussion with, on the contract for the accepted bid. But I don't think we write any checks.
No, and it would,
We already spent how much with the. You know,
and I would say an agreement with them is pending our ownership. Or pending that issue be resolved.
yeah, it should be getting to closing. I'll follow up on it, but it should be closed.
Oh, and you said somebody could sell it out from underneath us, that kind of raised the.
Oh, I don't think, she can't sell it to us, I don't see how she'd sell it. I mean, my fear is she passes away and and then we're fighting probate, so that's why I've been more pushing it harder than anything is, I don't want him to deal with probate, but even if she passed away, we still are on the line. You know, legal costs.
He's squeaky,
yeah,
It is what it
like
is.
every other day, call Poland's office and say, what the hell?
Well, I'll email an update when I get that this week. Set your minds at ease. I get your apprehension to. It is a weird situation, but it is.
I thought we bought it last year. So,
8, we've started a feasibility plan, feasibility report for 8 Main Street. I have no updates on that this time. That's in the works with Clinton Brown, right? Clinton Brown, you're working on the 8.
Yes,
8 Main
yes, we
Street?
are.
So we'll have more for that. Antique barn, I have no update except for we were approached by somebody that wants to buy 8 Main Street in the barn separately. Told them that I wouldn't hold that back from you guys, but the last conversation we had is that we wanted to sell everything in one lump. And not parcel off the barn in 8 Main Street, because that would take away the sellability of 4, 6, and 2, so. That offer is out there, it's not formal offer or anything, but that conversation's been had.
you can always make an offer.
So that's what we just got.
Yeah, that's the one we just got, but 10 Main Street, I have no update on that. The Depot Street, also under contract, that should be closed. I'll check on that too, but that one, we walked the site with the environmental professional. I told you they were gonna be requesting a variance with the DOL. John and I went and boarded it up as the town, code enforcement reached out to us. The front of that building had fallen off into the sidewalk. And the town had paid a contractor to come push all that out back. We couldn't haul it away because of environmental reasons, but they pushed it out back and, took down they opened that sidewalk back up after they cleared it off. So now that sidewalk's open, the windows were right there. So John and I went and boarded them up. So we're playing ball with them. So, the next step is to see if we can get that variance, to see how cheap we can get this thing cleaned up, because I really don't wanna treat all those blocks as asbestos.
Does cleanup include taking the house down as well?
Yeah, we're gonna lump them up together. But as at the next one, yeah, so 12 Depot Street has transite siding on the outside. So that's an asbestos project too. We'll lump them together as one big asbestos project when it comes there. The transite siding. I think we paid like $4,000 the last house we had. That was the almond one, which was twice the size. So I'm guessing $3-4 added on to whatever else for just to remove that transite siding. 63 Seneca, we just opened those bids. We will proceed with those bids.
Bless you.
After everything all checks out, we'll move along that. We have the money to do that. We'll request the money based on the bid. We'll request that whole money. So that money actually will probably be, we probably want to confront that because still working on the environmentals with that. Some floodplain questions that I have to answer. 607, 617 Main Street, Whitesville, the demo is complete. That site is now just sitting, waiting to find out if we get the cross mod program. 111 Main Street, you got a notice from Habitat for Humanity who we were going to give that property to for $1, and we were gonna give them $100,000 to help them build on it. They backed out. They said there's many reasons why they don't want that property. Two of those reasons I know are going to be that there's a well, which is on the DEC locator, so they're aware of it. There's a well there. It is not like an uncapped well. It has piping going to it and it's covered. DEC is gonna come out and see if it's off gassing or leaking gas into the air. If it is, they will cap it most likely, but that's a process we're going through with them. On one end, there's a DEC well portion, then there's a DEC wetlands portion. We're adjacent or within 300 feet or whatever, 150 feet of a wetlands. It's on the other side of the Shaw Rail Grade. Which makes us have to apply for a special permit when building. Talking with or emailing back and forth with the representative from the DEC. This is a light lift for them, because A is residential, B is not in the wetland, it's adjacent to a wetland, smaller project. So it's just an Article 24 permit that we need to do, with them before building, pretty light lift. And so those are two things that probably scared Habitat away. Those things would, I think, could have been easily, and probably the fill, they needed bunch of fill in there, they don't like the grade. That's kind of why we were giving them $100,000 with it, to make sure that they could do the grading they wanted to. They could get a consultant if they needed. I told them I would I'd stay on the project with them until the DEC approvals went through. But they didn't want to go forward with that, so that project might be the site of a crossmod or a new build later on, or we can readjust fire on that lot. We tore it down, which we did a good thing for that community. That house was a terrible eyesore, danger, security problem for the village, so. We still did some good with it already, and I think building a house there is still doable. But we're gonna have to readjust fire.
I know that the community is looking for a place, they were hoping Habitat would take that, they were looking for a place to place a welcome to Bob or something.
Okay, and about that, so if you have the lot, and the lot's like this.
Yeah.
Here's the corner, here's the 275, and then here's Salt Rising Road. Our property line does just what this fold does. So there's a corner here that that we don't own, that's actually highway department. I called the mayor and I told him that I sent him a screenshot of the survey.
Yeah,
And there's that corner,
well, I talked to the state,
You did,
I talked to Jonathan Angles, he said, if you put it up, we'll tear it down.
Oh,
And
really?
I'm on the state right away anywhere.
Hmm.
So we would have to set back onto the property of 111.
Okay,
So then I talked to code enforcement, and they said there is no regulation as to a setback from the property line.
for a sign, so you put it right on the
So
line.
you could put it right on the line, but depending on who owns the land, would have to have something written in there that the sign could say.
I can pass this
So
around.
there's a concrete barrier or a state right of way, which is the corner.
That pylon?
Yeah.
What do you call it? So benchmark?
Yeah, so if you follow that benchmark, you could place a sign exactly right on that line.
So here's the benchmark he's talking about, and our line key corner is this way. You can't turn that way, and so we were gonna put it right there. And they said they would tear it down, but I would be surprised if they knew even how far in they owned it, so we put it right on the line, yeah, it would.
So this is DOT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that sign gonna be blocking visibility for turning?
Not really.
no, I don't think so at all.
So we thought we owned over this corner of the highway.
So you have to place the sign right on the inside of this line here.
Mhm.
So it'd be right there, in the corner, if you have the sidewalk, so
Even parcel off and repeat it. It's showing for this is all. You thought we here. Actually, so there's that benchmark.
I'm almost ready to go.
So they put it on this line instead of putting it out here.
how far back in the.
Or 90 feet this way.
We drive by it very well, I can show you real quick.
Yeah, you can see it drops off quite a bit, so you put it right at that.
Yeah. I mean, there wouldn't be a lot of room for buildings.
Is it still needed?
So we thought we own this for the start.
There could possibly be, well, there.
This is not gonna say the town and the village ought to be able to
Right,
Yeah.
do something there.
so that's.
So to keep moving along, Lee, showing that,
Grass, I guess. It's just
Grass.
Do the
Curbs, curbs, grass. If you put it on our boundary, it'd be a dispute.
so to keep moving, apparently you got a hold of, the owners of Fort Forge and Route 244.
Yes, 4 Street is, I went by there the other day and there were some people working on it, so that is, that is off the table. And the other one, they had not found anyone that they said they'll keep us in mind if they wanna sell it.
Good, I might take those off our list then.
Yes, they're only on there, just a regular.
All right, housing study,
Contract was signed by the county late last week, and so just waiting for the consultant to sign it, and we can schedule a kickoff.
brownfields,
We completed the phase ones at Depot Street and 4 to 6 Main. That's it for right now with that. They're doing some more around the county. Haven't heard, we're really kind of early in the game to see if any of these sites will end up being residential and be on our radar later on. As of now, they're looking for commercial economic development type sites. But our sites have had the phase one, which is gonna be good for selling them down the road. People wanna, they wanna see a phase one. So we got that out of the way, and then what we got for that.
so at one point you had sent out, article that the land banks can hold brownfield properties with no liability. Is that something you foresee IDA and us being partners?
Yeah, so that's why that's why I have the seat at that table, I believe, because we have special, right? They since then have recently opened up that same type of thing for municipalities, so that they need us less, but.
Oh, okay,
But-
I mean, I'm not saying that, right,
Right,
want
no,
us to do that, but
yeah, no, we,
anything we can.
I still anticipate us being available for them to use that MOU, because we have an MOU now with the DEC and.
Okay. Your report,
Yes, we went through the infrastructure, our infrastructure updates. Bids, we did the government stabilization bids out. Got budget modifications out in the Seneca bids. Going forward next month, we gotta start the handover rehab. Start the demo at 63 and release those Grover RFPs. Those are the big three for next month. Again, HCR approval is always gonna hold us up, and every project has either been long-eared bats, trees, floodplain, so, but we're navigating these, yeah, water, yeah, oil wells, wetlands, and something, but we're chugging along through those, getting the old business. Per se.
yes, please. Let's see, just an update on our attorney.
Oh, I don't have an update on my attorney. He's,
I have a slight update,
you do? Okay.
it's unofficial.
Yeah, I don't have
So-
an official.
Peter Dagan is the interim district attorney for this year. And he'll have to run to be it. And he indicated to me that because he's interim, he does not have to shut down his personal law practice. Most of their focus is real estate stuff anyway, at this point, so. You know, he didn't say, yeah, I'll keep you on, but he's working through that transition period to get somebody else to take over or whatever, so. He's not immediately gone like I was thinking he was.
Do we want to reach out to, sorry if you're done,
I'm not,
do we wanna reach out to Drew, let him know we're willing to talk to him? I've already reached out to him, you wanna schedule to get on here, at what time on part of this, you guys wanna continue that?
Whenever he's willing to hop in, we can. Take a pause, so we'll keep moving. For. Jason, I guess.
I was gonna say, he said call, this is on site, but
that wasn't actually on this agenda, was it?
No.
Shall I call it old business?
Mr. Drew, are you available here? 10 minutes? Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Can he sign into the teams?
All right, see you at 10 o'clock. 10 minutes.
He's signing in on there.
Not that I'm aware of, probably over a phone call, or we have him sign in probably, whatever you
I
want.
would send him.
It'd be easier to, I'm up here sending the link.
He's on site, so he's gonna be on his phone.
Jason, you want to go ahead and, new business annual audit?
Yeah, just it's that time of year again. We've started assembling the information for the independent audit. I didn't put it on here, but now that I'm thinking we might want to, I think we approved a multi-year agreement with Advisex firm. I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago, so I don't know if we.
Once you just get
We can do
together
that,
with
yeah, we
them
can deal
and
with that,
see
yeah.
where we're
I
at.
can just look at their documents, I just popped in my head. So yeah, we're moving forward on that. Committee meetings, we're gonna meet committees after this meeting, but I'm just not ready for it, we're missing Dar too. Think it's gonna be easier with the kind of those heavier load than we had in previous years. To actually have committees meet outside, usually we meet before or after this meeting. I think this year we're not gonna be able to do that, we're gonna have separate meetings. I'm on a separate day, so I'll be emailing you guys about that, trying to schedule that, and I will look at the regulations and see if we can do committee meetings. But via Zoom. Save everybody some driving, here, are you aware if committee meetings have to be public?
I don't wanna say it, I don't,
Yeah, okay, I'll look that up.
I would say no, it's my guess.
So I'll be emailing the chairs and trying to figure out. When we can get those, we've got 2 of them in each year. We're definitely gonna have one in before our March meeting, because our March meeting, we have to approve the annual report to be sent to her, so. More involved on that. Board appointments and committees, just wanna get it on the record that once a year we need to. Ensure that our board of officers is, we don't really have an elections committee or anything like that, or appointment committee. But, by law, we're supposed to revisit those every year, so now we have, I think everybody wants to keep their same, right? Vice president, or vice chair,
Somebody
secretary,
else wants to be secretary, feel free.
and our treasurer.
I'm having the vice chair.
So I don't know if we formally have to, because there's not changing. If anyone has to be, committees, you already appointed committees at the end of last year. So what do you guys think? Should we have a nomination of the current? We
Are
can do
you
this in the March
usually
meeting.
in March?
Yeah, in March. I'm just talking about now, so I know what to put on.
We have a slate of officers for the election in March.
We are gonna do, okay. Yep, perfect. And then you can appoint committees at that time too. And that's it.
Invoices. Got, 2 admin invoices, one for fourth sector for $15,667.00. And one for our accounting, Glenn Smith of 3.5, motion.
Make a motion.
Second, Brian, why? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We have several capital invoices. We have Clinton Brown, read all these. Pelican Excavating, Gimbal, Sports Locker, and Neeson Clark.
Before we do those, don't we need a motion to
Increase needs to be part
increase the
budget.
the budget line for Nissan
Oh, from,
to 2,000? I would make that motion,
okay,
not to exceed 2,000.
second on that, second, I don't know why. Any other discussion on
And
it?
the,
Yes,
All in favor?
I,
Okay, now we can,
now there you go.
Clinton Brown's is a total.
Correct, it's like that invoice, they're all in there.
Okay. And then bowling games there, gym balls, sports soccer, all right.
What this is what, 25% of Pelican? Is that what you told me?
25%.
Man,
We have a motion to pay the capital invoices. Dave. Dave.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Anybody got any good at the order?
Just that they're coming waiting on Zoom.
Okay.
He sent over his D and B, we can, I mean.
Audio is connecting.
So we need a motion to go into executive session, is that correct?
Do we? Okay. Making that
So
motion.
moved. Ed, with an E?
Ryan will walk inside. 10:36. All in favor? Hey, opposed? Motion carried. We're in executive session. Information recording.
So I printed these out and showed you exactly what this is, what this is. Right.